you a ladyboy?
Oh, bitch.
Girl, I said, are you a... Are you a...
Oh. Us too.
Hey, Balds.
Hey, Jobless.
My name is Adrian.
My name's Shiloh.
And welcome to the
Ladyboy Radio Hour.
I prepared for what I was gonna say, but I forgot that I was gonna you just made me laugh. I guess you're just silly.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
I'm
okay. This is episode 4.
This is episode 4, so this one
that's almost
should
as many
be good.
fingers as you have on each hand.
Almost as many. I was like, no, let's crunch the numbers.
Stumped him with that one.
Well, here's the thing.
What's the thing?
Let me be honest with
Tell
the
us.
audience.
Oh, be honest.
This person knows.
Be real.
You know what I've been through today.
Oh,
and it's
a lot.
that I worked a 12-hour shift. No breaks. No breaks. It's okay.
No breaky.
I'm reporting them to the Department of Labor like it's fine.
No, allegedly. Except
allegedly.
he for sure is because guys, it's crazy.
It's crazy. But that's what I did all day. We normally record the podcast at noon. Safe to say it's dark out.
It's dark.
It's dark as shit. But we had, sponsored by the Deli Aloe drink.
This
Aloe
is from
Garden.
Aloe Garden.
Aloe Garden. Sorry. Bad look to laugh at your own joke. That Aloe Garden.
That'll be the first time. And he's saying it again. Premium aloe vera drink contains fresh aloe pulp. What if I just completely
Completely what?
put it on you? It's sweetened with honey, you guys. Isn't that crazy? It's sweetened with honey, but it's artificially flavored. Make that make sense?
That's crazy. Well.
Okay.
So what are we talking about this week?
Oh, okay. So,
and what is it inspired by? Because I know you'll tell this tale with the gravity and finesse it deserves.
Let me introduce the topic, and then let me introduce the context in which the topic exists. So to say, we're going to talk about celebrity beef / celebrity encounters, either us and the celebrities or celebrities amongst themselves. We don't really know. We're going to talk about it and we'll see what we say.
And we're using celebrity as a loose term because the person who inspired this, I would not consider a celebrity.
Okay, so gag it. Basically, how do I put this? We have recently found out that we took part in, unbeknowingly to us, certified one-sided beef with a self-proclaimed influencer activist, which, I mean...
A big New York City influencer. This person is... in the circles we run in and the demographics we appeal to, they're kind of a big deal. And they have engaged in a one-sided beef with us. We have,
It's just really...
it's not that we don't have an issue.
Here's the thing. This is somebody that, for one reason or another, we found ourselves in community with because of a mutual friend at the time. And we just had, a friendly, hey, I tend to see you at my friend's functions, type of vibe. It was not, whatever, but there were just certain, things here and there that were a little bit unsavory. Such as the fact that their platform is predominantly only white people, and although
they tout that it's for white
essentially
women, says that language,
and essentially the vibe of it is just, I find that when you have such proximity to whiteness, to thinness, to conventional attractiveness, there's a certain amount of work that you need to do in terms of that, and a certain amount of stepping out, but also factoring yourself into the shit that you talk about. You know what I mean? And I think that you just can't be so far up your own white ass if you are claiming that you are fighting for the good of not just the people that look like you, but beyond that. And I just don't think that you can say that you fight for people beyond that if it's mostly just you on your feed. But again, whatever. We could like write like a whole book or 3 about
And
like,
so could they. And they have a book deal.
guys, hold on.
What? Like, I want the drama.
Okay.
Well,
so,
I don't want the drama, but I'll take the clout.
Hold on. Okay. So essentially,
They owe us.
all that to say, there was shit in my eye. There was
You got shit in your eye.
there just I'm gonna shit in my eye. There was just like a lot of things that we were like, oh, we don't really think that we sliv for this person, whatever, but we were not really friends with them. And then this person and our mutual friend had not like a full like falling out per se, but like a bit of a parting of ways. And I guess there were feelings had about like us like pulling away from this person and then thinking that it had to do with like the really stupid beef that they had with our mutual friend, when in reality, like, we just didn't live for them. And why this all matters and why we're talking about this is because we were at this event for our friend, and on our way out, we were in the lobby of the hotel in which it was taking place, and we were leaving. It was me, Shiloh, and like a few other friends, and I saw this person, and this person saw me because we made eye contact. Again, we're really not friends like that. We don't fuck with each other that way, and I don't.
You made eye contact for the briefest time.
The briefest time, the briefest glance, the briefest look. Sorry.
Good God. So Lauren's here also.
But okay, so
she's
then
honking on Bobo in the background.
I see them, and then I'm like, oh, gag it, and then we finish exiting the premises, and then I'm like, oh, Shiloh, I just saw redacted, and then he was like, oh shit, wow, and then we left. Didn't think too much of it because like that person is like at this point like irrelevant in our lives, because
like the afterthought of a footnote of
completely.
A person in our lives.
But then come to find out that this person, after not having contacted our like friend,
left
the
her
mutual friend
on
that like
red.
we have, yeah, just was
for
like being
months.
Suddenly decides to text back, and it's only to say, oh, I just saw so and so and so and so, not including Shiloh for some reason. We'll get into that in a little bit, but they were just like, oh, like I just like saw them and they clearly saw me, but they pretended not to see me, like really like good commitment to the bit, or like some stupid shit like that, which like, girl, save it.
Girl.
Needless to say, there was no response given to that.
Our friend, who is normally the friend who will fight anybody on anything, and I say that with love. She will fight anyone on anything, was like, you know what? And I don't have to fight everyone. And was like, wow, that's crazy, haha.
It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. That person was tripping. But
it just like,
here's the thing. There's a lot of really, really hot, like, scalding tea about this. So if you guys run up the views and all that stuff on this episode and the next few ones, we will start a Patreon and we will give you the full, like, uncut tea.
OnlyFans.
I don't know about that. But, yeah. All that to say, mama, celebrity beef.
No, like...
us and this person who thinks that they're a celebrity.
Yeah. 66,000 followers on Instagram, thinking like you're acting like you're
666?
66,000.
That's what I say to that.
What was that?
No, and like speak on it,
Say
Lauren. And now
that.
there's something in my eye, Adrian. Why did you give it to me? Fuck you, honestly. Like fuck you down for that.
Ew.
I didn't mean that like sexy.
Vulgar. Okay.
But we have a lot of weird interactions with celebrities
Yes,
in general.
we've run into a couple celebrities. Oh. We should play this game because a lot of these stories of our encounters with these celebrities we've shared with each other.
Sorry, Lauren's having a coughing fit.
No, the ice cream was so cold on my teeth. It hurt so bad.
You got to get some Sensodyne.
Some Sensodyne.
Not pro enamel.
Okay.
Pro enamel is preventative, not restorative.
Oh, clock it.
Yeah, you got to get the regular shit.
The vibes in the studio are crazy.
The dentist told me that, and I literally said,
the Dennis Rodman. Okay. We should play this game where I know a lot of the stories of the celebrities that you have encountered, and I think vice versa. So I'm gonna say the one that I think you should say.
okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that you should tell the story of when you met James Corden.
I knew you were going to say that one.
Of course.
So I work
It's a real good one.
Because I had quite an extreme reaction to the man's face. I would not say...
Set the scene.
Okay, so imagine I'm bald. Shaved my head to the scalp. That's the era
Picture
I was
it.
in.
Bald. Gay.
Borderline jobless. No, just kidding. I had a job. I worked for a company called Blank Street. I don't work there anymore, so I feel like I can say that this is where this happened. This is not like doxing James. We both worked there for a while.
Well, I mean, I think it was clear that that's what we were talking about, like the other episode. If you know, you know.
If you live in New York, you've seen them. If you haven't, it's a venture capital coffee company. And we know it's VC because we fucking worked there, so... but whatever. It's a venture capital company, blah, 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 blah. They have these like fully automatic espresso machines so that you, as the barista, can take as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. It's kind of a bloodbath. Oh my God, working there was a fucking nightmare. I'm slammed. It's like a Sunday afternoon on the Upper West Side. I am fucking hustling. And this guy walks up to the register and addresses me immediately. And so I'm looking at him. I'm not really paying attention to the chubby man to his right.
Oh.
Real recognize real. Real recognize real. It's not fat phobia if it's, you know. Sorry I keep hitting your ASMR. As long as you whisper to me. Rupel Charles. But yeah, so this guy's talking to me and he's asking about these weird ass cold brew drinks we used to make there. Do you remember those fucking cold brew drinks?
Do I remember?
And he's like, what's the cold brew? No, he didn't have a British accent. He was like, so what's up with this cold brew cortado thing? And I was like, so it's a cold brew, but it's like a cortado. Isn't that crazy? And then this British motherfucker next to me was like, yeah, but what's this grapefruit cold brew tonic? And I look over and it's fully James Corden. And instead of having like a normal controlled reaction, I at this point had seen very few celebrities. At this point, I had already met Matthew Gray Gubler. We can talk about that later if we want. There's a photo of that interaction.
There's a photo of that interaction.
If we have 10 followers on the pod on Spotify, I'll put it up there because it's embarrassing. But so James Corden is there. The picture of me holding Matthew Gray Gubler.
No, like I said, I think we might have 10 followers.
Well,
more
then,
than that at 11. Please go on.
Put her up on the board. So I make James Corden. This man asked me about the drink, and I turn to look at him, and I see who it is, and I fully go, like he drew a gun on me.
Well, he did.
It felt like so fucking ridiculous.
Knock on James
I
Corden.
literally was like, and he's known for being kind of shitty to service workers. So
Completely.
I was like, please, God. I am fragile. I will cry.
I am fragile.
I'm so fragile. And I made him a drink. He drank half of it and came back and was like, can I say something? I don't like it. I was like, right.
You should have been like, that's fine. I don't like you, faggot.
No, like literal diabolical faggot.
But you didn't, Blanche.
Loved you in the Cinderella movie. Loved your work in that. Loved your work. You and Camila. Am I wrong? Yeah, but I met James Corden. He was actually pleasant. He tipped me.
An enemy of the pod.
An enemy of the pod, though.
Enemy of the pod.
He was not the meanest celebrity I've encountered.
He was one of the ugliest, though, for sure.
For sure, one of the ugliest.
Yeah, I get.
And that's not because he's a big thickums like me. That's just because of his face and his vibe. Okay, now here's the celebrity I need you to talk about.
Oh, God.
My queen, my lover, my Madam Web, Dakota Johnson.
So here's the thing. I didn't see aforementioned movie in the cinema, but Shiloh went and saw it and would not shut the fuck up about it for the longest time.
Well, also I took
And the
40
thing about-
milligrams, and
Of
I brought a
ibuprofen?
poke. No, you know of what. I took 40 a 40 milligram edible. I got in there and with a poke bowl, and I accidentally ate a glob of wasabi.
Eddie bowl, poke bowl. Sorry.
I ate a glob of wasabi right off the top, like as the opening credits were starting.
That like really set the tone, I feel. Oh yeah.
And then I looked up at the screen and I was like, I'm high. There's spider.
And then
people.
It was Jover.
It was so Jover.
But yeah, so he ended up like making me watch it one day, which I mean, that sounds like I didn't want to watch it. I love like a movie so bad that it's good. So I was like, Mama, I'm sold. So
that movie's amazing.
We honked on some bobo and then we watched the movie. And if you guys have not seen it, I need you to.
I need you to watch it.
Like the craziest thing I've ever seen. The acting, the cinematography, the color grading, the writing, the performances, like everything about it is so insane. And it really left like a lasting impression on me.
Sydney Sweeney's wig alone is like a movie ruiner in that flick.
Cut 2. I'm working late. I'm working at my barista job, and it's me on register and this other guy. Oh my God, Matt. Hi, Matt. Miss Matt. He was a summer employee, so he left. Summer employee, summer not.
Please.
But yeah, and so she comes up and like immediately I'm like, oh my God, it's Madam Web. But I tend to be like really chill with like celebrities when I meet them, because if I don't feel like I have like a genuine like, oh, like I'm like a fan of yours because of this and this, I'm not gonna necessarily say anything. And then like even if I am, I'll be chill like at the beginning, and then I'll be like, okay, let me plan like what I'm gonna say, and then I'll be like, this is your drink, by the way, I'm like a great fan. And then
I'm a great fan.
Oh, I'm a great
fan.
I'm a good fan.
Yeah, of course.
I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you until you love me. But
Paparazzi.
Paparazzi. First name Papa. Last name Razzi. But yeah, and
sounds
so
like a way they would try to say Nazi on TikTok without getting censored. Right?
Yahtzee is what they say already.
But Razzi works too.
Roxanne.
Rox. You know that TikTok audio? Rox. It's so good. I feel very passionately.
But yeah, so okay.
Dakota.
So she walks up. And
sorry, I just don't want you to keep punching it. Please keep going.
But now it's like turned away from me.
Yeah, but I would rather than you just punch the shit out of it, you know? Like it's
now it's closer to you, and now you're gonna punch it more. Let me move it.
That is a possibility, frankly.
This is already like the ASMR episode.
Oh.
Hey, what's up? Okay. So stop it. Okay.
Dakota.
She's standing in front of me. And then I'm like, hey, I'm a little bit like already feeling like a little trippy, because I'm like, oh my God, I just saw you in this movie, and your vibe,
so bad.
your like vibe in person is really reminiscent of that. But she was mostly normal when she placed the order. She got 2 cortados, one with whole milk and one with oat milk. This will be important later. So I take the order, I blah, 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 and then I put the drinks down on the bar for Matt to make. Matt like makes them or whatever, and then we put them both in front of her. Mind you, the shop that I work at, we write the code names on the cup, so like you can see like which one has like O for oat and WH for whole. Like you can see like which one is which. And so we're like, oh, like these are the drinks, and she's like, which one is whole and which one is oat? And then we were like, oh, it's this one, you know, it's marked. She goes, are they both oat? And then I was like, no, diva. Like, I'm like, no, like this one is whole and this one is oat. I'm like I just said that. And then she goes, okay. And then she grabs them and makes a beeline for her fucking black Escalade. And I was like, and then Matt turns to me and goes, was that Madam Web? And I was like, Matt. Yes, it was.
Observant.
No, completely observant.
No, that's crazy.
It just was so insane because The vibe of the interaction was so crazy and so off. It literally felt like it was the energy of the scene work in the movie. It was so crazy. I'm like, oh, a really big like part of why the movie was the way that it was her, which
Yeah.
is hilarious because that's the movie that she went on the press tour, like essentially being all, this movie is awful, this movie is awful, and it's like, mama,
No, you are the bad part of that movie.
I think the apple's rotten right to the core, and the core is
Well, honestly, there are some points in that movie where I think she is giving a borderline heroic performance. Some of that, the material, that script is like, I genuinely
the performance
shocking.
was crazy. It was a performance of somebody that thought that she was going to be in a Marvel like movie.
But I'll never forget when the camera pans out at the end and you see her with the sunglasses on, sitting in the window
What did
in
she
a wheelchair.
say? My Little Women or something?
What?
Like at the end, like when she's like addressing all like the other girly pops, and
Like
she's
in the hospital?
Yeah. What did
Where
she
the
say?
doctor's
Isn't she
like,
My Little Women
Are
or
these
something?
yours? And she goes, yeah, they're all mine.
Yeah, and then like
Like the
doesn't
three
she
girls?
say, yeah,
No, I don't think so.
my girls or something?
I don't know. Maybe my girls.
She like says something really, really weird.
I do love like a found family, begrudging adult that's not old
Yeah, but it
enough
didn't
to be
give
your
that.
parent, becomes your like parent figure trope. However, Dakota Johnson was so cold and weird in that role. She's cold and weird in every role.
She's called him weird in person.
Lauren, you may recall that flick we watched
Oh, diva.
with Dakota Johnson and I want to say Tilda Swinton.
Shaka Khan.
Was Tilda Swinton in the
Oh,
remake of
Suspiria.
Suspiria?
Suspiria.
That
Yes,
movie.
Tilda. That was a weird one. I think I want to watch the original, but she was very off-putting in the remake.
And it felt like she was supposed to be off-putting, right?
Oh, for sure. That bitch wasn't normal.
Chocolate
No, she
pudding.
was so weird.
It was so weird.
Not chocolate
But
pudding.
I was also
Vanilla
way
pudding?
too high.
High above me.
Just a lovely.
Should we what? Oh God.
This man just looked at our timer and went, oh God, we have to keep going.
Well, no. Aren't we supposed to stop at like 20? Mama, we're over. We're over. We're over, Diva.
I guess. We never have in the first part. It's always been longer.
Oh, you know what? That's fair. Let's relax.
Guys, Shiloh, is just feeling like he can't talk, so I think I'm just gonna take over. Okay, like
I wish you would. I'll just. Because I am fucking wrecked. This day was crazy. Now I'm going to talk about my Matthew Gray Goobler experience. I don't know why I'm gripping your arm.
okay.
Just because I think it's really funny and he was really, really nice.
So say that.
I want to talk about the best celebrity meeting experience I ever had. Matthew Gray Goobler. Matthew Gray Goobler, if you're watching this, I love you. And I always have since I was a little chitlin. Since I was 13 years old. And I was on vacation with my parents. And we watched an episode of Criminal Minds. And I was like, why does that man make me feel weird about the way I present? Anyway, I guess I'll just live the rest of my life with the knowledge that something's wrong here. So thank you, Matthew Gray Goobler, for that one. When I worked at the Starbucks Reserve, terrible job.
This was back with the old CEO that lived atop the building.
Yes, that's another celebrity, I guess.
Say
We
that.
used to call him Skeletor. He would come down from the top of the tower and misgender.
In front of him.
Oh, I said in front of the
This
former
is celebrity
CEO.
beef.
This is celebrity
This
beef.
is celebrity beef right here.
Luckily, the son laughed, so I think he forgave me and decided to not send me to the guillotine. But someone was like, "That's the CEO's son," and I said, "Oh my God, that's crazy! That guy has a Habsburg chin." Not something that you should say, not even about your boss, not about your
To
boss's
anybody
son. The
in front of them
billionaire
within
CEO of the company that you work for at the bottom rung. And I said he had a Habsburg chin, and he fully turned and he looked at me and he laughed. And so I was like, okay, either he doesn't know what a Habsburg chin is. For those of you who don't know, I was implying that he was a child of incest. The Austrian Habsburg dynasty, they all had crazy chins because of the inbreeding.
This is inbreeding.
Oh, you think about lesbians. Got it.
That it's inbreeding? No, only when they're
Pound the
related.
alarm. Boom, 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 boom.
And that's not even inbreeding because, well, girl cock. I won't leave it out. I won't forget about it. Anyway, Matthew Gay Goobler. So Matthew Gay Goobler. But I'm at the.
Tell you guys a story when I met Matthew Gay Goobler, and I was so excited.
So
Sorry.
let me paint the picture. The register is in front of me, but I'm on the back counter at the meat slicer because this is the fancy Starbucks. If you don't know, then you don't need to know. I'm at the meat slicer.
Had you slicing meat at that job?
Mama, they had me filling croissants. They had me doing
With
crazy
what?
shit.
Barista.
Yeah, I was just a barista. That job was crazy. That was like
All for $17 an hour, no tip.
no tips, no card, no cash, no nothing.
No
Actually, no,
card,
we
no
did take cash
cash.
tips, so no one paid in cash.
No.
Well,
This is the
because
West
it was
Village,
like
no
so
one's paying.
crazy, and you had that one manager. Was it like
Marlon.
What a fucking cunt.
And then I
He's so
found out that
rude.
he was friends with my future coworker, Cass,
Oh,
the
hey,
older
Cass.
doll from Burst.
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod. I love you, Cass.
Friend of the
Sorry
pod.
that I haven't texted you back. I haven't texted anybody back. But anyway, Matthew Gay Goobler. I'm at the meat slicer, and I hear a voice be like, "Hi, yeah, can I get a?" In the way that he does, and I immediately knew. Yes, hello. I knew immediately. I was like, my knees lock. I literally, my vision tunnels. I'm like not seeing straight, and I turn around, and I literally am like,
Pull loose.
and there he is standing there in like a New York Giants hat with like a fuzzy little pom pom at the top, and I'm like, and I turn around, and he orders, and I go, "I'm sorry. Can I say something? I have a question." And he goes, "Oh, but I have a question for you." And I said, "For me?" And he goes, "Yeah, can I take a picture with you, but on your phone?" And I was like, ah. And then I took pictures with him, and I was literally hugging him around the middle. So the photos
It's
are
true, I've seen them.
humiliating.
They're right here.
I've never posted them anywhere because, like, I look like I'm going to pick that man, that wayfish little twink up and start running. He, like...
And I think you wanted to.
And he was so nice. And then he met a random man while he was waiting for his Americano, like a random man in his 60s, old dude.
Hi, old.
And they just started talking. And then he like invited him to sit down with him. And then they sat there in the window for 2 hours talking. Not only was Matthew Gay Goobler nice,
Gay.
he was Disney Prince levels of nice.
Matthew Gay Goobler.
If he was gay, mama,
You've
sloppy
been calling him
talking.
gay this whole time.
Matthew Gay Goobler.
That's what you've been saying.
That is not true.
That
Mama.
That last time you did say Matthew Gay Goobler.
Matthew Gay Goobler.
Matthew Gay Goobler.
Matthew Gay Goobler. Can you hear Matthew Gay Goobler?
Anyway, I love him, and that was my best celebrity encounter so far.
I have a good one.
Hit
If
me.
anyone has seen the show What We Do in the Shadows, you might be familiar with the work of Harvey Guillen, who plays Guillermo in the show. I was a big fan of the show. I didn't watch the last season, and I won't, because I heard that people that had similar feelings about the show that I didn't like it. And so I said, I'm not going to watch it, because in my mind, the last episode of the season, was it 4? Was the last one.
What even happened in that episode? I don't remember.
They like get like shipped off at the end. Spoiler alert.
Shipped off to where?
Well, like that's when they like get in the container like boxes, the cargo boxes to like go and like the ships to Europe or whatever.
Oh, yeah, where like
Yeah.
Guillermo goes with Nadja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, and so I'm working at this one location that I'm not like usually at. It's over by Fifth Avenue. They're having a diva off.
They were queening out.
And you're queefing out. So okay. So he walks in, and my friend that I'm working with is also a fan of the show. And mind you, this location is like in the lobby of this big like building that's like residential, but also like the offices. Let me not say what else is there, because then you'll know where I work, and I don't want you guys to find me. Unless you like have subscribed and you can like show me proof of that, then like you can find me, I guess, if you want. But no, okay. So he like walks in, and the door is like far away, but we both are like, is he? is that? And then he keeps walking our way, and they're like, oh my God, it's him. And so we're like, okay. And then he walks up, and he's just like, maybe the nicest person I've ever served, like so nice. He was like, "Oh, like, is this good?" And he points at the little drink that we have, like our like seasonal drink sign like thingy, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty good." And he's like, "Okay, like, I'll get it iced." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then we just like make his drink. He tipped like 30%. I was like, ah.
Like, do you want head, sir?
Sloppy topic, completely
Sloppy
down
topic.
boots, the house mug.
And not only is he slay, but his outfits are also always good.
No, he's so cute. Well, and then like
He's
what was
so
also
cute,
great is that
Connor.
right before him, I had taken this guy who turned out to be his friend, and he was also so nice, which I think is huge because when you meet someone and they're nice, and you meet like their friend and they're also nice, it's like, okay, this is like double like proof that these are like good people. But yeah, like, it was crazy, and he was so nice. And when we gave him his drink, we were like, hey, and like we're also like big fans. And he was like, oh, like thank you so much. He like looked like a little embarrassed. I was like, you're big famous.
Is he big famous? I feel like he's
He's in like
niche.
5 seasons of like a really like successful, like he's like TV famous for sure.
He also has a lot of like really sick voice acting gigs.
Yeah, like
I'm
he's done like a lot of stuff. Like
Okay, work.
Like I think he's like
Odie
industry
in the
famous for
Garfield
sure.
movie.
Well, I mean, and like what
Playing opposite
we do in
Chris
the shadows
Pratt.
is huge. Well, plus I mean, like if you're if you're like
Fans.
fans of like Trixie, then you probably also know him because like he used to have a podcast for the show, and he had her on, and then I think he also has been in like other things with Trixie and or Katya. So like he's like I'm sure he's used to random gay people being like, hey, I'm a big fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he just was so sweet, and then he sat at one of our tables for 2 hours, and I was like, okay, I need him to leave because it was so stressful because I'm actually like a big fan of this person, and you're literally right there, so I can't even talk about it with my friend behind the bar because he's too close. So we're just like trying to be normal about the fact that like this person that is so cool, and like I also just respect that person a lot because of their work. They're like so talented, and they also like just bring like really cool representation that we don't like always get, and when we do, it tends to be really it doesn't always get the opportunity to rise above stereotype. So it's just nice. It's just like a really cool work, and in like a gender and in like a body way, it's really cool to see how he like manages his just like his public image, you know what I mean, and like the stuff that he like wears and just the things that he says, like it's just a really cool person. So that was the most starstruck I think I've been by meeting someone, because I don't always get too starstruck by just like the level of celebrity, but it's like if I am like really like, oh, like I think this person is so cool, that's when it's like panic. Like every single time I run into Michaela Diamond, which has now been like 3-4 times, it is like
I have met Michaela
like,
Diamond twice.
white pale skin, and I'm talking about me, and like sweaty palms, like it's too much, because I think she's so slay, and also I
really
discovered her in the fact that she was so slay when she was playing Baby Cher in the Cher show on Broadway. So like already it's a high regard.
Well, I think you probably just gave away
Like
one of
who
the
would be
answers.
my like,
but
well,
like,
yeah, for
who-
sure.
I think I know the two you would pick.
Yes,
But like, who are the people you would instant black out, like tunnel vision? I'm screaming and I'm crying, I'm throwing up.
obviously like Cher and or Patti LuPone, but honestly, I think Cher would be. I'd be more scared to meet Cher just because like it's a different level of celebrity. It's a different vibe, and it's also like I feel like with Patty, I have a good idea of what the interaction would be and how it would go. With Cher, it like I don't know as much. Plus, like the context of like
thanks, bitch.
right, like the context of like when this all would
Snap out
happen
of it.
is like I would most likely meet Patty either just like out like on the street, like near like Midtown, or like at the stage door. So I'd be like, okay, there's no context in which I would meet Cher that would not be like like a gag and like insane because like where am I going where I'd be running into Cher or meeting Cher? You know what I mean? And then like what do I say? Oh my god. Plus I've been at like that person is like such an entity to me because like so much of like what I like love is like a lot of like the vintage Cher stuff. And so that would just be like a mind fuck because she exists to me in so many different forms and so many different like whatevers. Whereas like with Patty, she's more like a regular girl. It's like sounds insane, but like you know what I mean. Like she's just some like Italian diva. And like I work on the Upper West Side,
She's
so it's
some
like
Italian diva.
I know that's a demographic that I do really really well with.
Yeah, they love you.
Completely. Let's take a break and then let's talk more.
You're not going to ask me who my celebrities, who my big ones would be?
Well, that's the suspense. That's the cliffhanger. And I'm not talking about your toes.
Oh, honey.
We'll see you guys in a sec.
Son of a bitch. Okay. Hey, Mary. As anyone listening to this podcast knows, it's a terrifying and difficult time to be trans in this country. It's more important than ever to support the organizations that support the community.
This week, we're highlighting the Callan Lord Community Health Center, a global leader in queer healthcare with roots stretching back to 1969, just 6 months after the Stonewall riots.
The center provides, in their own words, sensitive quality healthcare and related services to New York's lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community in all their diversity, regardless of their abilities to pay. To further this mission, Callan Lord promotes health education and wellness and advocates for LGBTQ+ health issues.
The center offers a bunch of services such as dental care, HIV and STI testing/treatment, and what we're really highlighting today, trans healthcare mama. They are the only primary care center in New York City that is specifically for the queer community, making it inherently safer. They offer a wide array of trans health services, as well as providing the opportunity to have a primary care provider as well as a mental health provider. They will get you together, girl.
You can find a link to their donation.
You can find a link to their donation page.
You can find a link. You can find a link to their donation page
Where can I find it?
In the episode description, bitch. Go do your big one and trans rights.
Period. And we're back. Oh my god.
Sorry, we just struggled really hard getting back here. That was tough for me.
You're so red.
Me? I don't know what you're talking about. Are my eyes open or are they closed?
Anyway, so, Shiloh, would you like to share the celebrity encounter of your dreams?
Yes. Oh.
You had all break to think about it.
I do, and there's 3. Well, there's more. There's a couple people I'd be
Just pick one.
1.
Okay, 2, because I said 2.
Okay. Can I do 2 actually famous people and then like...
Just say something.
I'm sorry. So I would love to re-meet and truly meet Dylan O'Brien. Because I did have a run-in with him on the street near the Lincoln Square AMC. And I was thrilled. And I just walked out of Saturday Night, which he is in. So I was like,
God, yeah.
I was obsessed with him as a teen in a way that I was Mama. Clock it. I'm old.
Hi, old.
26-year-old. Get the
Hi,
walker
jobless.
out. Unfortunately, I have a job. Until doing this shit with you starts to pay, I got a job and it's bad.
And that's up to y'all.
Just saying.
Yeah, and that's in your hands. If you like to see a trans person be poor, then go ahead, don't subscribe. But if you would like to see trans...
That's how you talk.
I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go kill myself. No, I'm kidding. It's fine.
Don't say that to the children.
If
Sorry,
if there are any children here, I would be shocked because there's no one here. What? What are you looking at?
Oh my god.
Sorry. Can I confess we did honk on some Bobo? So
Charlotte, I think they know that.
Well, because we don't for
Comment
the
below
first
if you
half.
could tell from the first 2 seconds of this half of the podcast that mixed thing right here was a little bit.
Now, don't take that tone with me.
I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to them.
Don't take that tone about me then,
Oh my god.
faggot.
Another white man
I would
policing
love,
me.
and I would love to re-meet Dylan O'Brien in a way that I get to be like, "Hi, thank you for the gender, sir." I
He's
really
gonna be like,
appreciate
"What
it.
the fuck are
I
you
would look
talking
him dead
about?"
in the eyes and say, "My freshman year of high school, me and a friend dressed up as you and Lydia from Teen Wolf at school in front
Lydia
of people."
B. Collins.
I was 15 years old.
You were 15
That's
years
the
old?
first time I dressed like a boy, air quotes, and I was like,
First time out of drags.
first time out of drag, literally, I was like, this is different. Why do I feel better but also wrong? I was like, because you're in the closet, babe. Do some unpacking. Would love to re-meet
In
him.
the armoire.
I would also really like to meet Zayn Malik of One Direction fame.
The only hot one.
The only hot one, as far as I'm concerned. I also got a lot of gender envy from him as a kid. I took, when I was, again, a freshman in high school, this was the beginning of the end. I took a picture of him to my hairdresser and I said, give me this fade. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
And I
can't believe it,
still
actually.
living like a cisgender life at that point. Anyway,
A cisgender
gender's just
life.
crazy. And if you wanted a third option, I was going to say the McElroy brothers. They're not really that famous, but they're famous in my heart.
They're famous enough.
They're famous in...
You
they
can be
like,
very famous and have a lot of people still not know who you are. That's the
tea.
nature of like modern fame.
That's tea because
Spilling.
those 3 men and their elderly father like carried me to the transgender finish line there at the end, honestly. And those
So
would be...
we have them to thank for.
We have them to thank for a lot of like why I'm rotten and annoying.
I'm grateful.
I don't think they would be like super pleased to hear me say it like that, but like whatever. I
Such is
stand in my
life.
truth.
Such is the beauty of life.
That's how I feel about that. And that's on period.
Kudos for saying that. For spilling.
For filling.
Wait, oh my god. Speaking of, there was at the GLAAD Awards, Patti LuPone, speaking of these celebrities that we would love to meet, she went up. I didn't even know she was presenting or something. I didn't see. The only video that I have seen doesn't include her saying anything but like these quotes. And she starts off with like a quote from, I think, Angela Davis, and then another quote from Harvey Milk, and then she starts to quote Drag Race girls. It's
Fierce.
amazing. It is like so good.
Patty, I love you.
I'm gonna play it right now, and then I'll put it up for y'all so y'all can see it better. But it is so crazy. Can you vamp while I find this? Just, like,
Yeah,
say
should I
something.
talk about more famous people that I like?
Yeah.
I said the McElroy brothers already. Okay, so that's
Okay, I
like
found
most of them. Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Wait, hold on. Pussy.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to find the one that like includes all the quotes. That one just
Other
was, like,
famous
after.
people. I would really love to meet Lady Gaga. The first
found it.
album I ever bought with my own money was her first album. Give it to us.
You can see it kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Oh.
you so much. I can no longer accept the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. Angela Davis.
Who I have met and shook hands with.
That's
Coming
crazy.
out is the most political thing you can do. Harvey Milk.
Just looks.
You're perfect. You're beautiful. You look like Linda Evangelista.
I cannot believe.
Aja.
Morphine. And
Let me ask you a question. What do you do successfully?
Quickly.
Bianca Del Rio. Fuck my drag, right? Kennedy Davenport. Back rolls. Alyssa Edwards.
Not her miming a tongue
Not
pop,
completely.
please.
That's a lot of emotion for safe. Trixie Mattel.
I love that that's the one.
That's a lot of emotion for safe.
Kudos for saying that. For spilling Plain Jane.
And then it gets too plain in that.
I want people to
audience.
realize it's okay to
I
make
would lose my mind.
mistakes. It's
This was a great
okay
one.
to fall down. Get up. Look sickening. And make them eat it. Latrice Royale.
I love Latrice.
Not today, Satan. Not today.
Bianca made it twice.
Bianca Del Rio.
That was the first thing I saw this morning when I woke up and opened my phone. So like immediately I was like,
So you said
and-
today's gonna
well-
be a good day.
Well, and the thing is, I saw it being posted, and they were like, "Oh, like what a great speech!" Like like she like nailed it. And then she says the first two quotes, and it's like, "Okay, love, diva, slay." Like this is cunty. Like great choice of quotes. And then she goes, "You're perfect. You're beautiful.
beautiful.
You look like Linda Evangelista." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And she goes, "Aja." I was like, "Ah!" And then she just kept going. So, sickening.
And that's on period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time for our song of the week.
Song of the week.
What you guys missed during the break was us having a really tense discussion about trying to figure out what our song of the week was.
Because my phone is filming, and my computer doesn't have Spotify. I deleted it for storage. It's a desperate storage situation right now.
Desperate.
That computer's about to explode. No joke. But because I didn't have my phone, can't look at my computer, I fully took my
What
iPad
is it
to the
you can
bathroom.
face?
And I fully was like,
Why in the bathroom?
because I had to piss.
Remember, you didn't say that part. Like, it just sounded like you grabbed your iPad and just was like,
Well, that's where it was.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
It was already there.
You keep your iPad in the bathroom?
I do sometimes take my iPad into the shower.
What?
I put it up on the window.
iPad into the shower?
Okay,
Sorry.
first of all, this person completely spit on me. Here's
You're
the thing about
welcome.
iPad in the shower. Hear
Not
me
so
out.
holy water.
First of all, if you guys don't sit down on the shower, get into it.
Not
you don't
like
sit
not
down
like
in
you
the
have like a
shower.
shower seat, but like he just like sits down on the floor of the shower. Mind you.
Sit down. Sit down. Take a load off.
Don't
Just
yell
be
at
like
them.
knees up to your
I'm
chest
sure
in the
if you're
shower.
listening to this, you are sitting down.
Mama, I was gonna say we're friends with a lot of athletes, but we're
Friends
not.
with the monster.
Sorry, what was the question?
The question was your song of the week, but then that like devolved into like, oh, I take my
I take my
iPad into
our
the bathroom.
window.
Oh, in the toilet. Oh, in the shower.
Hold on, our bathroom. The only window in our bathroom is in the shower, right? So it's a big ass window too. It's actually kind of silly to have a window in there. Love it. Really cold day, but you're taking a hot shower and you fucking rip that shit open. Can people see you? Yeah. There's like shit on it, but when you lift the window, they can
There's
see
shit on it.
They get my fupa's exposed when I lift that shit up.
Mama.
Fupa to the wind.
Name of this episode. Fupa to the wind.
But on the windowsill, I'd be putting my iPad and just
Oh, you do be?
watching. She do me, she do me, you got the God love. I just put my iPad up there and I'll like watch a silly video or a live stream or I don't know.
Save water, save the planet.
Just saying.
So what is the song of the week?
My song of the week is I Can't Go For That, No Can Do by Hall & Oates. I almost forgot their name. Speaking of celebrities I've met, I met Mr. Oates of Hall & Oates.
Did he get oat milk in his latte?
This was not a barista experience. This was in North Carolina. This was at school. What's your song of the week, little gay boy?
My song of the week is "Can We Talk About Isaac" by Rachel Chinoriri. It's her latest single from her upcoming EP that you can pre-save on Spotify. She's just really cunty, fresh and fierce, and she's making music that I think appeals to a lot of the same people that are into like a Chapel Roan and Sabrina Carpenter, except she's this like fierce like black girl from I think she lives in London, but her family.
From London.
Yeah, but yeah, and she's just like really, really cool, and I think that she would be having the same trajectory and like speed of that if we didn't live in like a racist world. And so I think that y'all should tune in because her shit is amazing. And she's right now she is opening for Sabrina Carpenter on this leg of her tour.
That's so
which
exciting.
is like huge and major, and like I love to see that happen because the girlies got to be there for each other, and
The girlies gotta be there for each other.
Rachel is somebody that I think needs to be showcased and be given the spotlight because the voice is beautiful.
The voice is beautiful.
The songs are amazing.
The outfits are
range
cute.
is really fierce. Not like the vocal range, yes, but then like also like the range of sound and like vibe and everything. Like she has everything from like a very like sort of like modern indie pop vibe, but then she can also like have like a little bit of like an early like 2000s like sort of like rock like ballad-y like type of thing, like more of like a The Hills like type of sound. That song is so fierce to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so go listen to it.
And also, I really admire her fucking tenacious, never-ending, like, early in her releases. Around the time she was, like, she first released All I Ever Asked.
Mm-hmm.
The way
Amazing
she
song.
relentlessly marketed that really fucking beautiful song on TikTok, and, like, it worked. It's nice to see people who put in the fucking work, because it was literally just her being like, if you don't fucking use the sound, like, you're a racist and I hate you. She didn't say that exactly, but she was like, you're really a hater if you can't get into it. And I think that's fierce.
Because the song is amazing.
It's
and
a really
that's
good song.
also, that was my end for her was, I heard that song and I was like, Mama, from the first little, I was like, oh, this is a potential mother.
This is a potential mother.
And then it was confirmed. She's also great live. There's a live performance of So My Darling. Oh my God. Beautiful.
It's a banger.
Amazing.
It's a banger.
She like tells a story of like why she wrote it. I could go on and on. Did you have any other things that you wanted to share with the children?
Yeah, I picked that Hall & Oates song because I really like Hall & Oates. And
Say that.
I've been listening to it a lot because when I was in high school and I was driving back in North Carolina when I had a car, when the aux cord wouldn't work, which was often because I would buy really shitty ones and they would break, I only had 3 albums in my car. It was Hot Fuss by the Killers, Pure Heroin by Lorde, and Rock and Soul Part 1, Hall & Oates. And it greatly informed the shape of my brain. So I'm revisiting some classics. Amen. I just kicked both.
This is for our TikTok story.
I look like an animated school bully in that photo. I look like somebody's like rival in Pokemon or something. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. We gotta ask Lauren her song of the week real quick.
Oh my God. Wait, okay.
2 things that we oh my God-ed about. What was yours?
I was gonna say bye, but then
But we have to ask Lauren.
yeah, we do have to ask.
So,
Lauren.
Lauren, can I come open your door and ask your song of the week?
Sure.
Oh! Is my cord long enough? We'll see, Mama.
While he's gone, let me just take this moment to address our loyal fans. And let me just say something like so real. Something that will help us really grow the pod is if you make sure that you are following us, that you have the notifications on like Spotify or
Subscribe.
the Apple Podcast thing. Definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're also about to start to release some YouTube specific content on there, like some silly vlogs and everything. And then also follow the TikTok. These are all things that are going to help us to grow the platform and then be able to monetize it and therefore be able to like donate more to the organizations that we are supporting.
And then one day do this as a job.
That part.
I would like to do that also. But
help us
first,
help the community.
First, we want to help the community. And then I would like to not be a barista. But we have other avenues.
But also, the second that we can get some more revenue from this, or like any at all, we can put it back into the production so that we can deliver a better product for you guys.
Wouldn't you love for us to stop kicking the mic stands?
Wouldn't you love that?
Wouldn't you love that? We have a very special guest. Lauren, talk loud. What's your song of the week?
My song of the week is The Deep Brown Noise on Spotify.
Yeah! Give it up for Deep Brown Noise.
I have sleep problems.
When Adrian's on the toilet, call that Deep Brown Noise. I meant not like referring to you as... That's fucked up. I meant because of the
you did, Mary.
That's not
did,
what
Blanche.
I meant.
You did. So as per usual, we are going to end our episode with a microaggression from Shiloh. Thank you so much. Let me take me and my brown noise out of this little
I didn't mean your
episode.
mouth.
How's that?
I meant your ass. Because I said you in the bathroom. Come on.
So now you're going to sit here and talk about my body in front of all these people?
Please. I need to be done. This feels like entrapment.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.
Wait.
Oh, bye.
Bye.
Guys, I'm so tired.
No, like, turn down. We gotta watch Drag Race.